Hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCal Saver here. Thank you for stopping by for spinning number 82. Been doing this a long time, and I enjoy doing this because I enjoy listening to music during the week. This is what we're going to talk about: is what I listened to this week, my albums and CDs. So before we get started, go down there and hit that like button. And if you haven't done so yet and you're watching, please subscribe to help the channel grow. Yep, and I am doing one without a hat on. That's a little different. Well, we're going to get started with the 1984 album, which turns out to be the second one in my collection. And so I'll be looking at them, and then I'll be keeping one, and my son Mike will be getting another one. It's the 1984 album, Slide It In by Whitesnake. Picked this up on Whatnot. Cover's in pretty good shape. It's got some ring wear on it, but these black covers and white covers happens a lot to them. But in other words, it's in good shape. There's no splitting, hardly any wear on the seams. And there's the back. The album is widely regarded as the pivotal release for Whitesnake as it marked their initial successes in the United States and laid the groundwork for their breakthrough later in the 90s or the 80s. There's an inner in it with it in good shape. Oh, the Snake brought a little bit of controversy to this album when it came out. And let's take a look at the vinyl. Comes to you on the Geffen label. Looking here, I don't see anything. I'd see one. See if I can find it. See if you can even see it. Right where this index finger is here, there is one line. You can hardly see it. And I played this, and it played through it without any skipping or anything. It's a non-feeler. So it's in really good shape. And I called it VG Plus, and I'm probably VG because of the line. I can never remember what Goldmine says about what's VG Plus, if it's got lines in it or not. But it's in pretty good shape. So got the week started off on a good foot, other than finding out I had a duplicate. And sometimes when I'm ordering on I'm on Whatnot and I want to bid, the auctions are so quick, I don't have a chance to look up in my database to see if I already have the album or not. So there's going to be the occasional slip up and the occasional duplication. But as long as it's in pretty good shape, I'm sure my son's going to enjoy it. So that was Slide It In, the 1984 album by Whitesnake. Now, on the 4th of July weekend, I went down to Temecula, and I went to, my son took me to a couple of the record stores down there. It was my first time visiting those stores, and I like visiting record stores. And then the first one, Swindles, I think was the name of it. I picked up an album that has been on my want list for a long time. I just haven't done a lot of hunting for it, or maybe I guess not. But anyway, it's this is a 1984 reissue of the 1974 album Kansas by Kansas. I have 2 LPs and 1 cassette in the collection by them. Cover is bent a little bit here, as you can see. I didn't notice that when I was down there, but I was excited about getting the album, so I didn't really pay too much attention to that. So that tells you how much I'm not that great of a collector. We got some ringware up there. We got some sort of a price sticker, $9.99. The album cover depicts the abolitionist John Brown in a scene from Tragic Prelude, a mural by Kansas native John Stewart Curry. The album wasn't very popular, and it ranked. They only made it to 174 in the Billboard charts. and I'm glad to have it because it's been a long time. I really like the music. It's been a long time getting it on my list, and so I'm happy with it. Even though the fans, when they first heard this one, they didn't like it very much. That's okay. To each our own, right? Some of you might like Kansas, some of you might not like Kansas. This one was a hard one. See on the inner sleeve up here, this KZ number. When I looked it up, the KZ number, it said was an original pressing from '74, and it might be, but I'm having a hard time because I don't find anything else that dictates that. And so, I'll keep looking. Who knows? Maybe they'll change my mind. But I listed it as in 1984 because on the label, it does not have that KZ number. I'll show you the labels in the album here. The vinyl was in real good shape. I put it through my spin clean like I do with all used records that I buy new, and it looked really, really good, and it played very well. So it's got one long line on it too, but it's a non-feeler and it played well. So there's the label on it. See, this has the PZ 32817, and the KZ is the one that is supposed to be the original. And there's supposed to be some, dead wax, something to find, but I have a hard time seeing the dead wax in a lot of these. So, whatever, I do the best that I can. I'm only a beginning collector. I can't say I've been a beginning collector. I've been collecting the albums since the 60s, on and off. But this one's good. I'm happy to have it in my collection. Another one off of my list. That's this is the 1984 reissue of the '74 album, self-titled album by Kansas. Okay, then I got another whatnot. Both of those two have been added to the collection. I've added 4 things to the collection this week. You'll see them all. Here's the third one that I added. And this is a 1988 LP. I got on Whatnot. Must have got it from Etsy. She uses these closed vinyl, or these type of, what do you call it, sleeves. This is Dream of Life by Patti Smith. I like Patti's sounds when it was the Patti Smith group. You can see that it has the discount cut in it. If anybody doesn't know what happens, when it doesn't sell, it gets sent back to the distributor, and after a while, they put a cut in it, send it in, and put it in a discount. Send it back, put it in a discount bin. They either cut it or punch a hole in it. Okay, this was her first album. It's the only thing I have by her solo in the collection. It's her first album after the Patti Smith group broke up, and the only album that she made with her husband, Fred Smith. Here's the inner. We've got lyrics, got some special appreciation on the back here. Credits on the front side that I showed you. And I like her voice. I do like her voice. And on the Arista. And this is in really good shape. I'll show it to you without the ring. But everybody knows that if you're doing albums and doing videos, most likely you got a ring light going. Okay. So that is the 1988 album, which is 37 years old now. Dream of Life by Patti Smith. Her first solo after the Patti Smith group broke up. Good stuff. Number 3 added to the collection this week. You have any of these so far? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you, so I'd like to get back with, and I will get back with you. The next one is this is a 1978 LP by Peter Gabriel. And like the first 3 or 4 albums in his that he released solo, they were called Peter Gabriel. Okay, I have 4 LPs and 1 CD in the collection by him, and this was his second solo album. And because of the cover, this one has become known as Scratch. Like Peter Gabriel, I've told you this before, I saw him in concert with Sting down at the Hollywood Bowl several years back. Really good concert. I was kind of really surprised. I thought, well, this will be kind of mellow, Sting and Peter Gabriel. It wasn't. They changed the tempo and the melodies and everything. They were both on stage at the same time. It wasn't like one performed and then a set and then the other one came out. They were both out there with their backup singers and bands on the stage at the same time. Pretty cool concert. This one here reached number 45 on the U.S. Billboard Pop charts and charted in 8 charts around the world in all. I'm not sure where I liked it, but I'm not sure where I'd rank it with the stuff, the other Peter Gabriel stuff that I have in my collection. And then we're going to be on the Atlantic Green and Red album. Got a, I can see the dead wax real nice there. And it's Atlantic. All right. That was the 1978 LP, Peter Gabriel, his #2 album, which has become known as Scratch. All right, we're going to be going into some CDs now. I was wondering, because I do listen to them during the week, if I should be doing a separate CD and a separate vinyl thing, but I don't do all that many, so probably would be a waste of time. But the CD collectors wouldn't have to then look through all of the vinyl and vice versa. The vinyl people wouldn't have to see the CDs. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. All right, here we go. First CD of the week, number 122. It's a 1991 album by Simply Red, titled Stars. It's the 4th album by the British pop, soul, and jazz band. 5 singles were released from the album, including the UK top 10 hit Stars and For Your Babies. The album was a worldwide success, particularly in the band's home country, where it has been certified 12 times platinum and was the best-selling album of the year in the UK for 1991. Okay, let's get the booklet out here. I like the music. I like Simply Red. It was a nice change of pace during the week, and it's the best-selling album for 91 and 92. And it's the first album to be the bestseller in 2 consecutive years since Simon and Garfunkel's Bridge Over Troubled Water in 70 and 71. Quite an accomplishment. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed listening to this. Like their style, their funk, their jazz. Like I say, I have 2 CDs by them in the collection. All right. I don't remember if I showed you the back of the CD case or not, so you can see what the tracks were. I'll try to get it up close so you can see it. Pause it and take a look. And it's on a nice blue labeled CD. Looks purple in the video, but it is actually blue. So, good collection number 122 and from 1991, Stars by Simply Red. Okay, the next one is numbered 127. We'll say, why did you go from 122 to 127? Well, back in the day when I was numbering them, I looked up in my database to figure out why too. Number 123, 4, 5, and 6 was a 4 CD box set, small box set from Led Zeppelin. So that's it. But I have subsequently then, when I got rid of my 300 player CDs, I put them back in their boxes. And someday I'll get those showing you some of the CD box sets. But anyway, that's why this is number 27. It's Time Space, the 1991 album by Stevie Nicks, the best of Stevie Nicks. I have 2 LPs and 3 CDs in the collection by her. It's a compilation featuring songs from her solo career. The album debuted and peaked at number 30 on the U.S. Billboard 200. It was Nicks' lowest charting album at the time, but it remained on the charts for nearly 6 months. And as of February 2011, the album had sold 11 million copies. No, 1.5 million copies. What am I? I can't even read right, huh? Good stuff. Guess my favorites on here would be Stop Dragging My Heart Around with her and Tom Petty. And then the other one I liked a lot was Stand Back. The final song on this album, Desert Angel, was written by Stevie Nicks for all of those in the armed forces that were fighting during the Gulf War at the time. And if you saw when I was just taking this out, my fell apart very easily. Why? Because I dropped it the other day. Okay, here's the back so you can see the tracks. Okay, and here is this is a nice looking label. Okay, so there we are. Time Space, a compilation of Stevie Nicks' hits. The broken CD jewel case. I think I have extra jewel cases. I'm going to replace this one probably. Yeah. Well, I can't even get it back together right now. Anyway, that was it. Time Space by Stevie Nicks. All right, now the last thing in the week, all the time, is an album from the collection that's been in there for a long time. And this week we are at, what number are we at? 75. We've been doing this a long time. And this is a 1977 album, so 48 years old, by Peter Frampton. And it is I'm In You. I have 3 LPs and 2 CDs in the collection by him. I love his guitar work. I really do. This was the 5th studio album by the English musician and songwriter. I'm In You is Frampton's most commercially successful studio album. It rose the number 2 slot in the U.S. Billboard Top 100 and was certified platinum. While in Canada, the album entered the chart directly at number 1. The title track became his most successful single yet, reaching number 2 on the Top 100. I'm In You reached number 1, as it also did in Canada. It's a pretty good album. You know, I could have got disappointed because in my memory, you know, I was first of I got Peter Frampton. My first thoughts went right automatically to Frampton Comes Alive. which I have number 1 and number 2. One's on an LP, number 2's on a CD. You can take a look at the tracks down there at the bottom. And so, like I always wonder how much of the success came because of Frampton Comes Alive, which came out 2 years before it. Probably some. Probably some that might have driven me to the store too. But eventually I got it, and I'll play it again this week, and I do like it. The title track, I'm in You, hit number 2 on the Billboard's Hot 100, which probably helped the entire production, which is a good production. This is in really good shape. Is that stupid phone bills? Boy, I got to make myself a big note and put it up, paste it up when I'm going to turn your phone off. We'll do that again. We're going to turn it off right now before it clicks again before we end here. All right, where are we going? It's on the A&M record label. In very good shape for a 48-year-old album. So there we go. So now comes the time. That was Peter Frampton's I'm in You from 1977. Comes at a time when I'm going to pick out the ones that I enjoyed the most this week. Okay. Well, this was a tough one. This was a tough battle. Okay. I eliminated Slide It In by Whitesnake because I had already reviewed that one before for his net. And so Peter Gabriel, I like, but I have a lot of his stuff. So but the first one that I enjoyed the most was Kansas by Kansas, the 84 reissue of the 74 album. Happy to have it in the collection. Played so good. Maybe someday I'll upgrade the cover if I ever run into one, but I'm not going to go out hunting for one. And the other one that I liked a lot was Dream of Life by Patti Smith. Okay, I enjoyed that. I like her voice. And everything was good. I liked Stevie Nicks, Simply Red, what all the good stuff that happened. Peter Frampton, this was a really good week. Let me know which ones you thought you would have picked. Okay, SoCal Saber saying, take care of yourself out there. Be kind to each other. Stay safe.